It's been over a year since Jade Cargill has been on the main roster, leaving AEW and becoming a free agent, debuting at the Royal Rumble, then eventually forming a tag team with Bianca Belair. Now, before Jade joined WWE, she was a hot free agent in AEW. She was the TBS champion, the longest reigning TBS champion. She was undefeated before eventually dropping the belt to Chris Statlander. After debuting at the Royal Rumble and having a stare down with Bianca Belair, the comparisons were inevitable and everyone wanted the dream match. And it's obvious, Triple H is very much invested into Jade, but there's a huge lingering problem that has not been addressed. Since Jade came to WWE, she has not shown great in-ring ability. She's very green, very awkward in the ring, and it's the reason why she was paired with Bianca in the first place, so she could learn under Bianca and she could be elevated to the WWE audience and the WWE style. And she would come in during the hot tag so she could look as strong as possible and hide her weaknesses. One thing about WWE, they are very good at hiding your weaknesses. Bianca and Jade would continue to tag throughout all of 2024, but before she eventually would get injured and have to vacate the tag belts. With the whole who took out Jade Cargill storyline lingering around while Naomi was in Jade's place, it was so obvious that it was Naomi from the get-go. Like, if you didn't know it was Naomi, you really wasn't paying attention to the story. While Jade was injured, she would return at the Elimination Chamber attacking Naomi. Now, since she has been back and been in singles work, her matches has been abysmal. A lot of Jade Cargill matches, they look very underwhelming. The move she does is lackluster, she botches a lot, and she doesn't look smooth at all in the ring. She hasn't had a lot of promo time, but the moment she has, it wasn't necessarily bad, but not really great either. In AEW, Jade never did any real wrestling. She was just like the female Goldberg for real. If you weren't watching AEW, Jade Cargill just did mostly squash matches during her time in AEW and her TBS reign. Jade was a big name coming into WWE. She was a big free agent, but she should have gone to NXT. I don't care how big of a name you are, Jade Cargill should have went to NXT. So many big names started in NXT before her, so it's not really like a demotion or a downgrade if you go to NXT. That's how you learn the WWE system and how to connect with the WWE audience. Stephanie Vaquer went to NXT and she's a far better wrestler than Jade Cargill. Julia, Shinsuke Nakamura, Samoa Joe, Finn Balor, and so on. You get the picture. In NXT, she could have polished her in-ring work, practiced more promo time, character work, and learned the WWE style that way instead of just doing hot tags with Bianca and just coming in just to do like 5 moves and then the match is over. You were never gonna learn that way. You need to learn how to work a crowd, cut a promo, tell a story, improve in the ring, really enhance your skills and become the best version of yourself before you touch the main roster. Jade is a face on paper, but does she come off as a face? Does she really act like a face? No, it feels like Jade is more naturally as a heel. She looks better as a heel and she should be as a heel right now, but I understand the dynamics with Naomi. She has to be a face, etc, etc. Now, when you look at Jade, she just screams star. From the look, the aura, the presence, she has everything you want in a wrestler. When it comes to look and presentation, if you would want to build a women's wrestler, you would want Jade Cargill, you would want Rhea Ripley, you would want Bianca Belair, just based off the look alone. I get that, but eventually the bell has to ring and Jade is not ready for the main event spot, and Triple H is pushing her to the moon too fast. After WrestleMania 40, it was a photo of the original WrestleMania plans, and the original plan was Jade versus Nia Jax for the women's title. Jade versus Nia Jax, that match would have been terrible. The only reason why it didn't happen is because Jade got injured during the build of the War Games. She has been booked incredibly strong since coming to WWE. Like, she has only lost like I think 1 time in singles matches against Liv Morgan, and it wasn't even clean. And right now Jade is in the Queen of the Ring tournament after just recently beating Roxanne Perez, and it's obvious she's gonna win the whole thing and face Tiffany Stratton at SummerSlam, and she will most likely be a world champion this year. And this is happening all extremely too fast for Jade, because when you watch her matches, when you watch the way she moves, you watch everything she does, I'm on the edge of my seat. I love Jade. I think Jade has a lot of potential. She has the look, like I said, she has everything you want. When the bell rings, Jade Cargill is not a main event material superstar. Jade has only been wrestling for 4 years, and there hasn't been any significant improvement. Just a tad bit, but nothing extreme. And her recent match against Roxanne Perez in the Queen of the Ring tournament, the match was very botchy. It was slow paced. The crowd was dead at a lot of spots in the matches, and it just looked like they had no chemistry, and it felt like Roxanne was just trying to lead the match, and it just was not good at all. And now she's in the finals of the Queen of the Ring tournament and will most likely beat Asuka and face Tiffany Stratton at SummerSlam. Everyone wants to see the dream match between Bianca and Jade, which looks great on paper. Yes, you could say that this is a WrestleMania main event type of match. The look of Jade and the look of Bianca, that just screams main event material. When the bell rings, I'm nervous on how that match will go because Jade simply just isn't ready for those moments yet. Jade should have dominated NXT for a couple of months and then came to the main roster, dominated the mid-card, became the Women's United States Champion, made that title prestigious, completely just dominate the mid-card, be unstoppable, give her a ton of experience in that realm, and then she eventually drops the mid-card belt. You could have gave her a Gunther reign with the Women's United States Championship. Give her a Gunther type reign, a 600-day reign of her just telling great stories, doing great matches, and completely just learning the WWE style that way. And then by that time, drops the belt, she moved into the main event scene, and then she would have already had so much experience from NXT and the mid-card, so she will be more ready for these moments in the main event scene. She has all these expectations, and it can cause a lot of pressure and make you feel uncomfortable. WWE wrestling business is not easy. It's a sink or swim industry. If you want the best for your talent and you want her to succeed and you want her to be a world champion in your company, you have to put her in positions to succeed. She has a great entrance. She has a great everything. Presentation is top tier. She probably has top 5 presentation in WWE right now, but the bell has to ring at some point. Jade should have went to NXT, learned everything in the Performance Center and under Shawn Michaels. That would have done wonders for her instead of just fast tracking her to the main roster. Now, Jade will be facing Asuka in the finals of the Queen of the Ring tournament at Night of Champions. I think that this match will be very telling, and it should show you the direction of Jade Cargill after it. Asuka is one of the best wrestlers of all time. She has done it all in WWE. She's one of the most accomplished women in WWE, and she's a great talent, and it's kind of like you can't really have a bad match with Asuka. So if Jade Cargill has a bad match with Asuka and it's completely underwhelming, conversations need to be had, maybe a pivot, maybe something, because if you can't have a good match with Asuka, you can't have a good match with anybody. I'm really curious to see how this match is going to go, how Asuka is going to wrestle with her, and how the match is going to go. I'm praying for the best, but I'm preparing for the worst also. Asuka could wrestle a broom and make it look good. Now, when Bianca came to the main roster, she got pushed to the moon instantly. Bianca started in NXT. Bianca and Jade both did not have prior wrestling experiences before they joined WWE. They both started off as college athletes. They weren't growing up into the wrestling business or following wrestling as a kid. Bianca was in NXT for a long time, and she was in the Mae Young Classic before hitting the main roster. So that way, she was under the WWE developmental system for a long time before coming to the main roster, and she is that damn good. She didn't win an NXT championship, which is criminal. I don't understand how Bianca did not win an NXT championship. Bianca showed a lot of improvement. Even when she was green at first, she showed a lot of improvement, and when she got to the main roster, she got pushed to the moon instantly. This woman main evented WrestleMania in her first year in WWE, and I believe that's the same route he's trying to go with Jade, but Jade didn't start in NXT, and she doesn't have the same skills as Bianca does. She could if she would have went to NXT. All you can do is let things play out, and let's see how things go moving forward. The match with Asuka will be very telling, and that will tell me everything I need to know about Jade going forward. I want to see her succeed. I want to see her be a champion, but I just want to see her improve. And I think that her best improvement could have been in NXT, but I digress.